Alrighty, WTO is back. It's been gone for a while, but the captain is back. Thank you so much, Little Link, for subbing immediately. First message ever in the chat, and an immediate sub. Let's fucking go. Yeah, the entire Basilisk was gonna be there. These are the lineups, guys, for our first of two clan wars. SSLT is last, I believe, in the regular season. They're either 11th or 12th. Our last two games in the regular season should be very doable. It's obviously important for us to get the maximum amount of points. The most important thing about WTL to keep in mind is that you want to win without an ace match. And we have won a lot of clan wars with an ace match. And obviously winning feels great, but you get less points for winning in an ace match. TooDming is going to duke it out with his old rival, the Italian Stallion. A little over a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was, TooDming did get the best of Reynor once in a best of one. We don't want to see that today. Nice camera, Reynor. Would be cool if it would actually show your face rather than your glasses only or your hoodie. You're so new to the community. I just moved to Atlanta last year. That's awesome, mate. I don't know if you use Discord, but if you want, you can obviously join my Discord, and we'll have a channel that's now still called Home Story Cup, but I'll rename it to DreamHack Masters Atlanta. And a lot of the guys of my stream that are going to Atlanta will be talking with each other. So if you ever feel like you're gonna get lonely, feel free to reach out to some of the other lovely nerds in my Discord. I vouch for almost every single one of them of being lovely individuals, lovely people. So I'm sure you're gonna have a great time, matey. And obviously make sure to say hi to Roddy. If you're there, be like, hey Roddy, I'm Little Ling. Big day for Reynor, of course, guys. Not just because of WTL. We expect him to take care of business here. I think he's going to play Protoss, by the way. I'm not even kidding. We saw how good his Protoss is when he took that first game against Yona. We saw him beat Scarlet and Mixu as well. I think he's loving that PvZ life, so I actually think he's going to play Protoss. When are we going to have DreamHack Berlin? Well, we had DreamHack RotterdaM, but somehow they did not do any RTS there, which, I'll be honest, it still hurts. How can you come to my backyard, my beautiful city, and not have an RTS tournament? That sucks. Here we go. Oh, it's ZVZ. I'm honestly surprised.
Let's get it on.
In the bottom left side of El Sione, Alkioni, nobody knows how to pronounce it. We were looking at the main base of TooDming. In the top right side, representing the Basilisk boys, we are looking at the main base of the Italian Stallion, Reynor. Reynor is the 50% man. Sometimes we love that, sometimes we hate it. I hope he is not the 50% man today. He's gonna have to deal with a 12 pull. Is switching ratios between maps allowed in WTL? That's a good question. I honestly don't know. We don't really have a lot of people who want to play Protoss one game, Zerg the other. I would say it's probably similar to ESL, where it's absolutely allowed. But I don't know if WTL has specific rules for it. Is Reynor still washed? According to his own copy pasta, yes. According to me, no. That boy ain't done peaking yet. We haven't even seen his final form. I think I know where the SC2 World Champions will be. Zuidland. I mean, we have space here, mate. We've got beautiful farm fields. We don't have a convention center yet, but plenty of space. I am close to Carmack. I DM him every now and then, so if he ever feels like running a tournament in beautiful Zuidland, I am sure the farmers will welcome him with open arms. Is Reynor grinding for Atlanta? I would say he's been playing a decent amount, yeah. Especially as soon as the Home Story Cup has ended. I feel like you guys seen him play. You guys seen him stream. Way more Starcraft than League, so yeah, I think our boy is gearing up. It's obviously not just for Atlanta. Tonight we have the IEM Europe server qualifier, and that's a very important one. Let's see how Reynor is going to defend the 12 pull of his opponent. At this point, Reynor is probably thinking, damn it, why did I not play Protoss so I don't have to deal with any of this? We are watching a clean feed. I am not in the game, so that's why sometimes the stream can be a little stuttery. I feel like the FPS is lower, the graphics are not as good as what you guys are used to. So far, I think Reynor has done a very good job. The hatchery is still pretty healthy. Some of the drones are low on HP. We've lost 2 drones now. That's acceptable. Even 3 drones is acceptable. If we lose 4 or more, we're going to become a little bit unhealthy. Drones were almost surrounded there, but good job. Good drone movement by Reynor. And he's going to be fine now, guys. Queen is out. This is a fight that Reynor can absolutely take. Gotta say, TooDming actually took a very good fight there. I thought Reynor had enough links there with the Queen. Turns out it was a little bit more dicey than what it should have been. Also feels that Reynor forgot about his Overlord on the other side of the map. So Reynor is actually going to be supply blocked here. It's not the prettiest start ever, but we'll still take it. But losing that Overlord is unnecessary and should not happen. Reynor is going to try to make it an eye for an eye, but TooDming, his Zerglings are here to protect it. Losing the Lynx and losing the Ovi at the same time, yeah, is not ideal. I still think Reynor is fine, because we know that he's the superior player here. So as long as he doesn't fall super far behind, as long as it's not a bolt or a disaster, he's going to be okay. Alright, cool. My stream has decided to go into like no quality at all. So what I can do, guys, is try to go to 720 and see if that's stable. It's not as good as 1080, but yeah, I know that was 240. Yeah. See, we'll just go to 720 and we hope that that stays good. It's funny because we had like 7 or 8 weeks of it being pretty much perfect, no issues at all. But the last few play days, whether it was Kung Fu Cup or WTL, we've been struggling and we've been counting pixels. Why YouTube? I can try Twitch as well, but I've tried both many times. This is obviously not my first rodeo. And most of the time, the YouTube link is a tiny bit more reliable than the Twitch one. But if it continues to be annoying, then I can try Twitch too. We are not allowed to join the games ourselves because they're afraid that we make the game lag. That's why. Obviously, I wouldn't, but their tournament, their rules. We are just happy that they give us this tournament. Zergling's feed is done for Reynor as he's gonna get on top of the Evo chamber immediately. No cancel on that bite, boys. So Reynor kills a drone, and now Reynor once more. Queens are very low on HP. Reynor gets the first queen. Reynor gets the second queen. Reynor gets the Zerglings, and this is already very good damage. Minor investment by Reynor, but killing a drone, killing the Evo chamber, killing a second drone, killing 2 queens, killing a third drone. Our boy is cooking, baby. And he's not cooking one of those frozen pizzas from Albert Heijn for Roddy. No, he's cooking some of the finest Italian pasta that the world has ever seen. Morning, Wing, and I'm doing good, mate. Still obviously recovering. Still tiny bit sick from the Home Story Cup, but overall feeling great. Excited for a long day of Starcraft. WTL into the Europe server qualifier. Banger of a day. Was there a COVID outbreak? Honestly, I think the answer is yes. Because I have known like 8 people at this point that went to Home Story Cup and all got COVID. How was the Home Story Cup poker table? The vibes were really good. I think everyone had fun. I didn't do too good. I did not lose, but I honestly played a decent amount. And I don't know. I think over like 3 days I won like 50 or 80 bucks. Which is not fantastic for the level that is being played at that table. I'm happy. A win is a win. And I had a good time. That's the most important part. What's with the quality? I just answered that. It is a clean feed, and the quality is never going to be as good as when I joined the games myself. TooDming does have a few more roaches out, I believe, than Reynor, but obviously Reynor went up to 3 bases quicker, has done a crazy amount of damage with just a couple Zerglings. If the Lynx of Reynor did not find all that damage, I would have been somewhat concerned about this upcoming push of TooDming. Right now, I'm not that concerned. I also wasn't concerned though when Reynor was taking a fight against Lambo on Hecate, and he did end up losing that fight in the end. Reynor was very confused about that fight too and that game overall. He's like, I don't really get it. I felt like I played a good game, felt like I had a good read on the situation, and then I just died. That happens to the very best, even to Reynor. Hello, Kev. We can do that, mate. I can do that as soon as the first game is over. Not sure where all Jacob's money ended up eventually. Oh, I know. Loco. Loco is the one who took all of it, guys. Something that a lot of you guys are not familiar with when it comes to poker is the term hit and running. But it is a very popular term among poker players of people that sit down at the table, double up and leave the table immediately. And Loco, baby, the finest hit and runner in the West. Doubles up, and he's like, oh no, I got a cast, guys. I'm out of here. And then he comes back a little bit later. He's like, alright, I'll start with starting stack. Reynor has a crazy amount of roaches in the natural of TooDming. TooDming is finding a tiny bit of economic damage on Reynor's side of the map, but that's obviously never going to be enough. I don't think that this is a Zerg army that is going to be stopped. Maybe if he pulls every single drone and all the reinforcements show up right on time, but the 30-40 supply army lead is not going to lie. He actually does not have that much of an army supply lead, but he has created a pretty big supply lead overall. In the end, TooDming does kind of hold. Loses 20 drones. That is obviously a crazy amount, but taking into consideration that he killed 10 drones on the other side of the map. Not that bad for TooDming, but he's obviously in all sorts of trouble. Down 22 workers. Aspire is about to come online for Reynor, and TooDming doesn't really have anything that shoots up. Yeah, absolutely, Macho. You know what they say, guys, the rich get richer, and that definitely applied to Loco over the couple of days of Home Story Cup. TooDming is here with a couple of roaches and ravages, but as I mentioned before, none of his units actually shoot up, so the mutas that come out for Reynor should be able to clean this up. Honestly, TooDming is looking okay in this game. I think Reynor is going to be fine, but all of his roaches got cleaned up on the other side of the map. I really thought that Reynor was going to do a bit more. Reynor is in danger now of losing the third base. I still think that he's okay because of the 20 worker lead. But we really need a couple of units on the ground, and he's got 4 roaches. That's not necessarily enough. A few more roaches are about to pop though for the Italian Stallion, and the mutas will be able to clean this up. Honestly, one of the better games I've seen TooDming play throughout this entire WTL Round season. And I'm afraid for him that it's not going to be enough, but this is not the kind of game that is going to give Reynor a crazy amount of confidence for his series against Young Yakov tonight. We've got Yoda in the chat saying these players always deliver. With these players, you're putting TooDming and Reynor in the same category, Yona? Is that what it is? Yeah, these guys, you know, these underdogs, they can really put up these messy, scrappy, fun games. I'm just happy that TooDming doesn't have anything that is mobile and actually shoots up. Otherwise, Reynor could have legitimately been in a bit of trouble. Never thought I needed to see Serral using the Roddy Cheeky emote, but now that I do see it, I know that I love it. They do not have the same win rate, guys. Crucible lands in the middle of TooDming's army. I like how TooDming just keeps on attacking. He's like, yeah, I've got nothing that shoots up, but I really don't see that many mutas. But even 4 or 5 mutalisk will add up over time. Reynor takes the 1-0 lead, the way we obviously expected him to. I want to do 2 things quickly. One, I'll get the quality comment for RotterdaM, so RotterdaM doesn't have to mod listening to Roddy repeating the same 2 things over and over again. Chat comments, custom comment, add new comment, comment name, quality. WTL does not allow us to join the games, so we are watching a stream. Alright. Kev, I've done my finest work over here. Damn! What a wall of text, baby. Game 2 of our opening series, and I don't say this often, but I said it before. Out of the 2 matches today, guys, I'm kind of more excited for the second one than I am for the first one. And of course, we are on Team Basilisk, and of course, we're always going to root for the boys, but I also try to be as honest as possible to you guys. SSLT against Basilisk should not be that exciting. It should not be that close, just because we are the overwhelming favorites. Then again, so was Reynor against RotterdaM yesterday, and we only won in minute 94. So that got exciting. I hope that this one does not get that close. Second match of the day is going to be Onside versus the Shopify Rebellion, and that is an absolute banger. Serral and Reynor will play live today. Trigger has played this match in advance. I don't know the outcome of the match, as I never want to know. The next match is Serral versus Sakura, I believe. I think Serral versus Sakura. SSLT has one stud, and that stud is Cyan. But since their season is kind of lost, and I guess they didn't want to mess with Science sleep schedule or something, I have no idea. Even though it's like, it's perfectly fine time in China. I don't know why he's not playing, but he is not playing. So, not only are we the stronger team on paper, the only really good player that they have is also not playing. Ah, Science changed teams? Okay. When did that happen? Last time he was still playing for SSLT, previous playday. Who did Cyan join? Cyan is a stud, so that makes me happy. Did qualify for IM Katowice. Joined Mystery Gaming. But he's not even allowed to play for them, right, in the regular season. So I guess that is something to get excited over for the future. Oh well. Mystery Gaming is really sick then. Bonnie, Ragnarok, Cyan, that's an amazing team. He can play for them if they get into the playoffs, and I think they will, because I also think that they have a relatively doable schedule left. So they should be able to pick up a bunch of points. We'll talk over it over the weekend when it's their time to shine. Roddy has not played yet in this season of the WTL, because every single point matters. And even though we've got Yona, who very often goes 2-0, if Roddy wants to play a game and he goes 0-2 and Reynor goes 50%, that means we go to an ace match, and that means we lose a point because of me. So, as much as I would love to play, it is not the time for fun and games. If on the final play day, it doesn't really matter if we win with or without an ace match, there is a chance that Roddy will play, but today we just want to pick up all 3 points, and then we'll see how the rest of the matches play out over the weekend, and if it matters. I would obviously like to play, I think it'd be very cool, but right now it's not the time for us to mess around. To be honest, in a series like this, I'd back you as much as Trigger. Yeah. I don't think I'd be an underdog against TooDming or Silky, but I also tend to panic. You guys have seen me before in stressful situations, and I become a very unpleasant individual, and I start shaking, and I start misclicking, so I would definitely not be able to guarantee a win or an all-star performance.
Round 2. Fight!
Top left side of Oceanborn, it is the Chinese Zerg player TooDming for the SSLT down 0-1. In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who does indeed have his camera a little high up. But he is looking good. The Italian stallion, BASILISK Reynor. Selling those guys short. They're not top pros, but still quite good. Yeah, and I'm just a guy who's drooling on his keyboard, right? And doesn't know how to spell Starcraft 2. I think by saying that I have a chance against them, I don't mean that I don't sell them short. I think they're quite fine. But I also think that I'm quite fine if I'm playing my best. If I'm a 6k European ladder player, I think it's okay to say that I have a chance against TooDming and Silky. Because I don't think they'd be a whole lot higher than 6k. Like, I know against Cyan I would get probably wrecked, because Cyan is very good. But if he left... Don't know how good Sakura is. Haven't seen too much of him. You want to see Roddy perform bench Serral? I don't think we're going to bench Yona. Yona is always in the running for a couple of awards as well. So it's nice for Yona to pad those stats a little and get another W on the board. Yeah. I think Marine WTF, it's quite the... So that implies 50-50. Yeah, but I think I am 50-50 against TooDming and Silky. I don't think that's a crazy statement. I mean, you can ask some of the European Zergs that are high up on the ladder what they think. And quite a few of the guys that have qualified for DreamHack Masters in the past even said that they absolutely hate playing me and they think that my PvZ is excellent. So, I mean, to each their own, mate. I feel like I've only given them props and kudos. And there's a reason why I'm not playing today, and that's because I respect them. And I don't want to take the chance of losing. I feel like you're just looking for that one little angle where it's like, hi, someone said something that is like 0.0001% spicy. And I'm going to fight them over it. TooDming is going to go for a link flood here, guys, in game 2. 10 Zerglings on the production tab. Zergling speed is going to finish up. This could be a big scout for Reynor, but he doesn't really get right in where he needs to be. And we even had the fake Evo chamber. Oh, guys. And Reynor had, I think, a Bailing Nest, and he cancelled the Bailing Nest, and he goes for an Evo Chamber himself. This can honestly be the one way where TooDming does manage to win a map against Reynor with a very cheeky all-in here. Reynor is going to be in some trouble. Does have 10 links on the way immediately. Creates a bit of Sim City with the Evo Chambers. I do really like this build from TooDming, because he obviously knows the longer the game goes, the more Reynor is favored. So that's where you just freaking send it, and you hope it's going to be good enough. Economic damage will be dealt, but obviously TooDming needs more than a couple of drones. TooDming ideally needs to straight up win the game, since he's only on 16 drones himself. He's already killed 9, I think, with triple queen and non-stop link production. There's still 27 Zerglings out on the map. Huh? That is a lot of links, guys. It's not going to be easy. Obviously, queens are very good, and every second that goes by right now, the queens will regenerate some energy. Is it happening again? Will history repeat itself, or can Reynor just close it out 2-0 this time around? Transfuse, please. Okay, I guess we didn't have the energy for it, so one of the 3 queens has gone down. 2 more drones die. Finally, I do see a transfuse going down, and that's obviously big. 16 workers on the side of TooDming, 17 workers on the side of Reynor. But as long as those queens are alive, I believe that Reynor can pull off the hold here. Lovely build though by TooDming. I do really like this. When you know you're a severe underdog, and you know that if you just sit back and you got a macro, that you're probably going to get outplayed, just go ahead and make it seem like something it's not, and then fully send it. Play it with heart and commitment, and that's absolutely what he's doing here. 10 more links on the way. Reynor is starting to work on a wall off. I'd love to check those queens. I can obviously not click on them, so I don't know how much energy there are on these queens. If the Bailing Nest ever comes online, obviously all that Reynor really needs is 1 or 2 defensive Bailings. TooDming is going to go for it, but Reynor's link count is quite high, and this is where the DPS of the queens is really going to help out. But Reynor kind of gets maybe baited a tiny bit into fighting away from those queens. I think there is still a tiny chance for TooDming. I don't think he's 100% dead yet, but obviously magic needs to happen right now for him. Maybe he can jump on that queen immediately, grabs the queen. The queen will still drop a transfuse. I think Reynor overall has enough Zerglings at this point that he is no longer in trouble. He's got Bailings finishing up too. Got a little scary there, guys. Kudos to TooDming for going for this build. Even if it didn't work, I liked it. Because now at least we got some excitement out of it. And I think he truly gave himself a puncher's chance, even though it wasn't quite enough. Great defense by Reynor, because he heavily overdroned and he cancelled the Bailing Nest. So that was not easy. But great queen positioning on the ramp. Is a tiny bit out of position now, but it obviously also means that TooDming is going to end up losing all these links. And Reynor has already droned up a little bit again. Still a 4-worker lead on the side of Reynor. This is not going to be it for TooDming, and he knows it. GG gets called. The 50% is no more. A 2-0, baby. Was it the cleanest thing we've ever seen? No. Are we happy with the 2-0? Oh, absolutely. Reynor wins his best of 3, and that should be, excuse me, his best of 2. And that should be all we see from Reynor in the WTL today. Obviously, we'll see more of Reynor tonight, as he's going to duke it out with young Yakov, who had an absolutely fantastic performance yesterday. Reynor 2-0. Done. Is it Sakura, guys? Serral versus Sakura, right? Oh, it's Tat P, but Tat P is also known as Sakura. I am very excited to see where this prediction is going to go. Anybody wants to put a couple points on Tat P 2-0? Give you guys, I think 10 minutes is fine, because they have to connect to the room. Let's take a look at the standings overall, guys. Obviously, we had a bit of a break last weekend. There was no WTL because of the Home Story Cup. So currently, we are in 4th place. We've got a sexy overall record. 8 wins, 1 loss. But we are in 4th place because we've won a lot of matches by it going to the ace match. Are they already starting? Okay. 10 minutes is way too long, but that's okay. Obviously, we can pick up 3 points today. Next week, we play the Africa Freaks. And that should be kind of doable as well, because they're also kind of in the bottom. SSLT is 0-9, and they have lost their star player. African Freaks 1-8. Onside gaming against the Shopify Rebellion. Maru versus the captain. Lambo Solo and Young Scarlet. Really sick match. Legitimately really sick match, and I see a universe where it goes well for the Rebellion.